Now, this next one might shock you. Does doing yoga help grow muscle tissue? And the simple answer for that is, very quickly, yes, it does. And quite a lot. You'd be very surprised. Let me tell you a little story first and foremost. Story time. So back in the days, I was a very typical bro lifter in the gym, spitting sawdust gyms. Majority of the gyms that I trained in, I owned. Very hardcore. If you've ever been a member of my gym, thank you very much. But powerlifting, predominantly powerlifting kind of gyms, strongman type gyms. Not a lot of bodybuilders, so I came from a powerlifting background. Obviously, can't you tell I look like a powerlifter? But yeah, I've always looked like this. It is what it is. So we used to do a lot of squat, bench, and deadlift. Now, I've said this in another video as well, but you know, like, we didn't know this, but just by accident, we was going through the plane of motions that were good for us, like holding 200 kg in the squat at the bottom. That is something that is good for flexibility, for your back, for your ankles, so for your knees, for your hips, for everything. It opens everything up. And all we was doing back those days was, let's see how much weight we could hold in the hole, so that if we can hold more weight in the hole, therefore when we come to squatting, we're not afraid of going into the hole. And when I'm talking about the hole, it's sitting right at the bottom of the squat, not cutting short. So we used to safely like walk out 180, sit in the hole, hold it for 5 seconds, squat back up, 200 kg, squat down at the bottom, hold it. But I think my best was 210. In fact, there's a video online as well of me doing it, 210 kg, right in the hole, sat down, 5-6 seconds, have a little chat with your mate and stand back up. That's what we used to do. Now that obviously helped with flexibility. Deadlifting, same. Rack pulls, block pulls, all that kind of stuff. Training out of the range or the exaggerated range of motions. So like when I was doing shoulders, so remember, people always have this thing of your shoulders. They always say this thing is 90 degrees, don't they? They say from here to here. Make sure you're doing that. Now, when I was training shoulders, because I don't like letting someone pass me the dumbbell, dumbbell shoulders I'm talking about here, I always rack them up like this. So when I pull them up here, look where my elbow is. Right in this vulnerable position. What normal people would say vulnerable, this is in this position. So what I would do is, when I was training, I used to hold it down here, get comfortable, and then go all the way up. And then maybe on like rep 2, I can like, not there, I'm never that, I'm always below. But when I used to warm up, I used to pull it all the way down, exaggerated range of motion. Reason being, when I'm training, I'm never going to be this exaggerated. Same with incline bench. Same with bench press. So what I used to do with incline bench, and I've done a video on it as well. If you want to watch that video, you can watch it on the incline bench press. Go to the playlist, watch the videos there. I put the bar on my chest. And what I do is I pull my elbows. So my elbows are always going to be here. And I pull them all the way back. And then what I do is I kind of like press one arm up at a time. And if you press one arm up at a time, this arm goes, think about it. There's a bar here. This arm goes into in an exaggerated range of motion, back here. Now, when it comes to actually benching with heavy weight, obviously, it's always going to be here. So if I'm warmed up in the exaggerated range of motion, will I ever get injured? No. Now, touch wood, whatever it is, yeah, I've never been severely injured. Like, I've never been injured doing squat, bench, and deadlift. Obviously, I've got niggles, pains here and there. It is what it is. That's part of life. You know, I've never been severely injured. And one of the reasons is, just by default, I used to train in these exaggerated ranges of motions because I didn't like someone passing me the dumbbell. And obviously the squat one was because we like squatting heavy in the hole. And same with the the block pulls, standing, the deficit deadlifts is what they were called. That's what I was trying to say. I haven't done them in so long, I forgot. Anyway, when you stop doing all this kind of training and you go to traditional bodybuilding style training, I got really tight in the back, my hams, my glutes, my hips, my shoulder, everything got really locked up. So I'm thinking, this is not right, something's not right here. And I'm getting the massagers, I'm doing the foam roller, I bought the compacts machines, I got the massage guns, and I got it, everything, literally everything. What was it, cupping? I tried cupping. I'm not that cupping's bad, but it's not for that. Tried cupping, dry needling, physio, Graston. I've got a Graston tool here somewhere. Graston will use that as well. Everything, absolutely everything. And nothing was working. And when I started to go down to deadlift again, every time I'd not pull my back, but I'm very in tune with my body. And it's just that my body's telling me, don't do this because something is happening elsewhere. So I joined yoga. And I thought, you know what? Let me just join some yoga. Now, I have a friend from school who's a yoga instructor. And I always see her on Instagram. I'm thinking, yeah, do you know what? Let me go. So I found a yoga instructor that was close to me. And I turned up in the morning. It was freezing cold in the UK. This is years ago. Freezing cold. You guys who live in the UK know how cold it gets in December, November, December. Freezing cold. You don't want to get up in the morning. And this was like on a weekday at like 8:30 a.m. So you know who's going to be present. It's just going to be mums. That's it. And like everyone's like 50 years old. Average age is like 50. So I turned up there and I'm the only guy, obviously. This is a while ago. Maybe nowadays more and more guys are doing yoga, but I'm talking 10 years ago. So went to the yoga class, went right to the back. Now, don't get me wrong, it's a little bit weird. It's a bit weird depending on the instructor or the teacher. When they start doing the whole om, and then they start banging the dong and doing all this, it's a bit weird. I'm not into that shit, bro. But listen, each to their own. I'm not knocking it. It ain't for me. Anyway, point is, I started going through all these stretches, bending forward, bending sideways. I'm thinking, is this it? How is this going to benefit me? How is that going to benefit me? How is this going to benefit me? Just very minor movements, very slow, basic, bending over, all this kind of stuff. And I'm going to make a whole series on the kind of stuff that I did. If you go to the dojo's not live just yet, but when I release this video, but it's going to be live very, very soon. It's going to be launching this month that this video is going to be releasing in. Obviously, I kind of like sometimes group these together, so I can't tell you exactly when this is recorded, but I do know it won't be live right now. But if it is, just go to fadihussein.com, check out if the dojo's live. There's going to be a section on there for stretching, because I strongly believe in this. Anyway, point is, the next morning I woke up, and it is as if I had taken the strongest painkiller in the world, because every single ache and pain that I had in my back and my glutes and my hams just completely vanished. All from stretching and movement. So obviously I'm not saying do yoga, because yoga is a little bit long-winded, it's a whole hour. But what you want to do is you want to work out which body part's injured. And this is, again, go to the dojo section when it is live. Everything will be broken down. And you want to stretch the hell out of that muscle. But not only do you want to stretch, you want to stretch with movement. There's a process to it. You can go on anyone's on YouTube and find out movement patterns and how to stretch and how to move around. I think they call it, what's it called? My mind's gone blank. My mind has gone blank. Animal flow? I think they call it animal flow, movement flow, something like that. But the point is, they do all these lizard crawls and all this movement side to side and hips. And anyway, point I'm trying to say, if I was to go back right now, when I was at my peak lifting, I'm not at my peak. I'm never going to hit that peak ever again. And I am quite content. I'm quite happy with where I am. I am at my new peak. This is my new peak. And my new peak is to maintain the physique that I have right now. Someone was asking me about my stats the other day. 93 kilogram, 92 kilogram. Probably lost a little bit of weight because I'm in Thailand right now and it's red hot out there every single day. And 92, fairly lean. I would like to say around 10% body fat. 5'11", 6 foot on a good day. That's just my stats, if in case anybody's wondering. And yeah, so that's my new peak. This is my new peak. I'm not going to be deadlifting 300 kilo again. I'm not going to be squatting 260 again. I cannot. You know, I was watching a guy, just sidetrack again. Sorry. Sidetrack again story. I was watching a guy today in the gym squatting, and he had 4 plates on the bar. And I looked at that, and he put 4 plates on, and he was really struggling with this weight, really struggling with it. He did it, though. He did it. Fair play to him. He was like some Russian guy. And I looked at that, and I used to think, bro, I used to piss 15 reps on 180, bro. Video's alive, bro. Video's alive. So I ain't joking. And I used to think, you know what? I could never do that now. And would I want to do that? I don't know. Maybe the reps, actually. Maybe the reps. I might do a rep. I might build up to a rep work. But anyway, the point I'm trying to say is it's quite impressive. And I used to put 6 plates on a bar. 6 plates aside. 260 squat in the hole. Boom, stand back up. 5 plates was a regular. 5 plates was nothing. It was like, boom, what are we doing today? Should we go build up 5 plates? Yeah, no problem. And that's because everybody in the gym was doing that. Anyway, let me just sidetrack there. Sorry about that. I just had to explain to you guys that I just had one of those moments today when somebody was squatting this weight. And it is a heavy weight. 180 is no joke. You know, it's no joke. Still double my body weight. So it's still a decent squat for the guy. And he was struggling, but, you know, he did it. Anyway, point is, stretching. Very, very beneficial. So you need to work out exactly what it is. Start with yoga. Go to a yoga class. Go to any yoga class. Just join it. Some gyms have it free. Some don't. Whatever it is, just join some yoga. and go through the motions that they're going to tell you. Now, most yoga classes, obviously, because they don't have like a set amount of people that come through every single day or the same people, it's new people. So the instructor or the yoga, whatever you want to call them, I don't know what they're called, the yoga tutor, whatever it is, will go through the whole upper body, the whole body, top to bottom. And you're going to figure out certain things that, oh, do you know what? This works. I like that exercise. Oh, I like that one. Make a mental note of it, write it down, go on YouTube, research it, see what it does, and figure out what works for you. And I know I should have made this video once the dojo's live, because you will be able to go to the dojo and all these will be done for you already by yours truly. Please, if it's live now, if you're watching this in the future, the dojo's live, go and join it. It's $9.99 a month. And if you're watching this in a lot in the future, then it's probably gone up. Anyway, definitely works for stretching. Now, the point I'm trying to say is this. So, first of all, tendons, ligaments, joints. When you stretch those, they strengthen to the point that they become indestructible. I kid you not, they become indestructible, because how else is it that you're able to lift this crazy amount of weight for a long period of time? I'm going to look at Michael Trent, if you want to call him, whatever. Fair enough, we know he's on gear, but who cares? The guy's still in good shape. He's still very, very strong. He still lifts heavy. He's almost 60 years old. His ligaments, tendons, and he was mentioned this the other day in a video, and I know the guy talks a lot of nonsense, but he was right. You can strengthen your bones, you can strengthen your joints, you can strengthen your ligaments, you can strengthen your tendons. These things you can strengthen. We're all focused on muscle, muscle, muscle. If you stretch right, everything is working in sync. Then when you have a stretched muscle, it's a healthy, supple muscle, more nutrients can go to that muscle. It repairs faster, it builds quicker, it looks nicer, you're not as tight, you're not as stiff, your range of motion is better. A lot of people look at me when I'm training, like when I'm doing shoulders or when I'm doing certain exercises, and think, oh, he's very loose, the way he's training, look at this guy, he's going to get injured, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's only been training for 27 years, but he ain't got a clue what he's talking about. Bro, you're the one sat there nursing an injury, and I've never had an injury, a major injury. Yeah, we always have nicks and niggles and pains. Like I said, I've got a little bit of a tight hip at the minute, and I know what to do for it. I've been a bit lazy. I'm in a new country. I've been here for the past 3-4 weeks. I'm finding my routine. The weather's here, there. I'm meeting new friends. We're going out. We're doing this. Whatever it is. The point I'm trying to say is I know how to fix it, and I'm going to fix it. So you need to stretch. Now, if you're a newbie and you're thinking, I'm already doing cardio, I'm already doing training, when am I going to get time to do this kind of yoga this guy's talking about? It's quite simple. If you do morning cardio, after your morning cardio, figure a routine out to do for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes, guys. That's all it takes to do your stretching in the morning. Then it's done for the day, done. Or after training, you could do 10 minutes. Failing that, if all else fails and you've missed those days, you've missed those timings of 2 times in the day, let's say you train twice a day, in the evening, you're watching Netflix, you're watching TV with your missus, your kids are in bed, whatever. 15 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever you've got, guys, get on the floor, get a yoga mat, get whatever you need to buy. Do some stretching. That's all it is. Another story I'm going to tell you here very briefly. David Goggins, we all know who he is. Stay hard. If you watch my channel, you should know who David Goggins is. Now, I've only seen snippets of him on Joe Rogan and stuff like that. He is good. I do like the guy. I believe, he's a very strong character. I like what he says. He's very real. No nonsense. Doesn't beat around the bush. Gets straight to the point. Kind of like a guy I know. Anyway, David Goggins was ill. He had this thing growing on the back of his head. You can watch this on the Joe Rogan podcast if you don't believe me. He had some sort of something that was up with him anyway. He was very ill. And he said, I didn't know what to do, and I was running, and the guy's a bit crazy. He just didn't stop doing anything. He was just 100%, 100 mile per hour all the time. He said, every single night, I started stretching. And he used to get a pillow like this, and he's stretching on the floor, doing all this stuff. And he would stretch for 1 to 2 hours per night. And he still does it till to this day, he still stretches for 2 hours a night. And that is why he's able to do what he's able to do. Did that make sense? Yeah. That's why he's able to do what he is doing. Because he stretches every single night. He might not say that, but this is an observation that I've made. And I know this as well. From first-hand experience, it is very important. And that guy said that this lump that he had on the back of his neck, it went down. Completely went. He didn't take no medication. He didn't go to the doctors. He didn't do anything. You know, the guy's a badass. And he said, just by stretching, his body was realigned. It was just tightness. His body was telling him something's off. The hips are off. The ankles are off. The elbows are off. The shoulders out. The body was telling him. And the body has a funny way of giving you signals. We've all been there. You know, you might have knee pain. And you think, shit, this knee pain's, oh, what's going on over here? Massage the knee, you get acupuncture, you get the shockwave therapy in your knee, you're getting this sorted, you're getting that sorted. And where is the issue? The issue is in your ankles. The issue is in your hips. Soon as you fix your ankles, soon as you fix your hips, your knee pain's gone. So this is what I mean about your body. It's very weird. It gives you some funky signals. I know there should be something up there that says, that wherever the spot of pain is, that's the bit you need to fix. I wish the body worked like that. It does sometimes. It does, you know, if someone punched you in your face, you'd know exactly where you've been punched. If someone was to, you know, stab you, you'd know exactly where you've been stabbed. But we have nerves, tendons, we have these like nerves going around, nerve endings that start somewhere, they end somewhere else. So you could literally, you know, have a tight hip flexor and your knee's blowing out. That's exactly what happens, and that's true. And that's just one example of many where you think you've got something wrong with you. Your lower back pain. Okay, I got lower back pain. Oh, I can't stand up. My back's pain. My back's so tight. I don't know what to do. You're massaging your back. Guess what you got? Tight hamstrings. We all know that's true. So please, sorry for this video to drag on a little bit. Make sure you're doing your yoga. Start there. Make sure you're stretching every single day for the rest of your life, and that is going to shave years off your life in the sense where you're going to stay healthy for a lot longer. And I've said this many times when it comes to longevity. We're not prolonging your life, but as long as you are alive, you're going to stay healthy. Hope this video gave you some value. Comment down below and please subscribe.